Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 11th. And while I was wandering through the internet to find something to talk about this morning, I discovered this website called Interesting Facts. And on this particular day, the opening article said, "What's the most expensive thing that was ever created by you?" And then they opened the article by talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, which was a movie that cost a whopping $410 million to make. Now that's a lot of money, $410 million. And certainly it could be in the running for the question that they asked. But it's not. It is so far behind the question of the most expensive thing that humans have ever created, because that most expensive thing is the International Space Station, which cost over $100 billion. Now that's a lot of money, but by comparison, some of the things that we spend money on in this country cost a lot more than that. But I won't talk about money. When I think of the International Space Station, I think of it as the property of the United States. Because every time I hear something about it, we're sending somebody up to the station, or somebody's coming home from the station. So, in my mind, I always think of it as the property of the United States of America. But that's not the case. That's not the case. The International Space Station was launched in 1998. And it took over 10 years, over a decade of careful and often very difficult planning. And the International Space Station is a collaboration between 5 international space agencies. These agencies come from the following countries: the United States, NASA, NASA, the Roscosmos, that's Russia. And then we have Japan, whose title is JAXA, JAXA. And then, of course, all of Europe, the ESA. And finally, the CSA, which is representing Canada. And the space station, which has been up in the air since 2000, has been continuously occupied since 2000 with a full-time international crew. And they have been conducting many experiments, including microgravity experiments, trying to figure out exactly how things interact with each other in the universe. So while we must consider this one of the great experiments, successful experiments of mankind, it almost didn't happen. There were minor threats in the beginning to abandoning the project, and it was almost ended by a single vote in one of the committees in Congress. But somehow or other they got that person straightened out. And then, of course, you must realize that getting those 5 entities together to work on this thing, and those 5 entities actually consist of 15 different countries. So, getting them all work together on a single cause was a monumental feat. And it disturbs me to think that we could do this for the space station, but we can't do something similar right now for the rest of the world, and right now we can't do something similar within the boundaries of the United States, attempting to get people to work together. But you can't argue with the results of the space station. It has put forth many things that we who stayed on the planet have benefited from. There have been over 2,500 experiments conducted on the International Space Station. These experiments have benefited the human race, gave us insights into disease treatments and drug delivery systems, and it developed a new water purification systems. And we learned a lot about how a body reacts in space, how things work in space. And so the financial investment in the International Space Station has turned out to be a wise investment, and it's benefited the human population on Earth in many different ways. There have been 258 people who have been aboard the International Space Station as of May 2022. And these people are called astronauts in the United States and cosmonauts in Russia. And the Chinese call them takonauts. And the term nauts is something meaning sailor, and the other word, cosmo or astro, refers to space. So these are people who are up there sailing. And Peggy Whitson, a U.S. astronaut, stayed up there for 665 days. That's almost 2 years. And I don't know if that's the record. One last amazing thing. You can actually see the space station with the naked eye. It averages about 250 miles above the Earth. And it can be spotted because it's actually the third brightest object in the night sky and looks similar to a plane, but it's moving very fast. It actually orbits the Earth once every 90 minutes. So that's a quick trip. So if you feel up to it someday, and the night is beautiful, and the sky is clear, step outside and enjoy looking for the space station. So I'll leave you with that information today, and enjoy your day. Bye.